Hey there everyone, Mazarok here, and today I want to talk about what is one of the toughest weeks of affixes for tanks to deal with. That is Sauguine and Necrotic. Now those are two affixes I don't think we've ever really seen combined together before on a fortified week, and it is something else, let me tell you. I've now done this on a couple of different tanks, and it has not been easy, but I did find a way to help certain tanks mitigate a lot of the damage and really improve their survivability. It's at a loss of DPS. This is a big shout out to a guildie called Baked, who suggests going with Clea. And that's what I did. I set up Clea, and honestly, I don't regret it at all. It was a really, really good idea, and I'm going to explain why. So if you are not a Kyrian tank, I am sorry. Keep kiting, keep running around as much as you can. We'll keep trying to keep as much threat as possible. It is not easy, but you can do it. It's definitely all on the tanks this week as per affixes. So if you like this type of content and you wish to join a community of like-minded people who just want to have a good time, have fun, and learn how to tank better, Discord's down below, and I stream on Twitch. Give me a follow. Again, link is down below. Let's get right to it. This is not going to be the longest video that I've ever made. Probably going to be a little bit shorter. So, the Clea tree, why is it so good for this week? So, little note, very, very likely you've been running Mechanicos if you've been Kyrian, or you've been running Pelagos if you've been Kyrian for the big mastery boost, or for the big cooldown on your class Covenant ability. Clea offers several things that are really, really good for this week. Especially that Necrotic has just been terrible. I don't know if it's bugged or whatever, but I feel like I'm just getting so many stacks, and the stacks are just negating my healing that much harder. So, the first thing we want to go to is we want to go to the right for the Ascendant Vial. Ascendant File, I'm sorry. The File of Serenity renders you immune to curse, disease, poison, and bleed effects for 8 seconds. This includes Necrotic. So every 3 minutes when you pop your file to get rid of your Necrotic stacks, you also become immune to gaining new ones for 8 seconds. This, when timed with bigger pulls, can absolutely save your bacon. It will make a lot of things a lot more doable. Being immune to Necrotic stacks for 8 seconds, love it. Love it to death. Works super well. Cleansing Rites. After 5 seconds out of combat, you gain a shield for 10% of your maximum health. Absorbs work a little bit differently with Necrotic than, just straight up healing. So you will get a lot out of this. A lot more than what you may think. Then, of course, we want to go to the right because we do want a potency conduit. We still want to do some DPS. So, to the left, sorry. We need to go to the left after your endurance conduit. Now here, your damaging spells and abilities have a chance to decrease your target's movement speed by 45% for 20 seconds. This is really good even with Sauguine. It's going to allow you to kite, but it's not so slow that they can't get out of Sauguine, but you need to be kind of backpedaling and moving a lot. This is one of those, I'm sorry about your Wild Spirits weeks, but then again, they know it's Sauguine. These things are going to happen. So constant backpedaling while doing damage is going to be able to allow you to keep doing your thing and kite when you need to and keep them out of Sauguine. The next part of this, which synergizes very well with the Necrotic removal stacks of the file, is the Hope Springs Eternal. Your File of Serenity reduces damage taken by 20% for 8 seconds. The effects are also granted to your lowest ally. Now, this is nice, but they don't matter as much. This is about you and your survivability because you need to be living so they can. Now, having a 20% DR every 3 minutes, especially when you're going to be, when you're taking your file to remove Necrotic stacks, guess what? You're already not in a great spot as a tank. You're probably at like 40% health, 40 stacks. Like, you're not in the best spot. Having that DR to help your healer top you up is huge. It is so worthwhile. I would have gone with the other Endurance Conduit if this is the tree I would have been running, because my Endurance Conduits as a Prot Warrior are better than my Finesse ones. All I need is this Inspiring Presence, and I'm good. The rest are kind of okay. But I want this Hope Springs Eternal, because having that extra DR, and on top of that, you can stack it with Booming Voice. Not Booming Voice, or Demoralizing Shout. Booming Voice is a talent for Demoralizing Shout. It is early in the morning. I'm still drinking my coffee. I wanted to make this video. So these two here are your key to really helping you survive this week. I tested this in a 16 Sauguine depths. Are not one of the worst for Necrotic, but definitely one of the worst for Sauguine. And it worked really, really well. I had done Aspires before that, and my goodness, that was an absolute toughie to, you know, kind of finish off and go. There was a lot that I had to do. My butthole was sufficiently clenched, and I was happy when that run was done. This one here was a lot more fun. I still had to kite. I didn't have to kite as much. I still had to watch my poles. Still, not as much. This really allowed me to go in and make a much bigger pole when I needed to, and to kind of help move that key forward, because you can't micro pull an entire dungeon, especially once you start getting up there in key levels. So this here was definitely a savior. Kyrian Holy Paladins, you guys should be in high demand this week. Kyrian Bears as well. This is a very, very good treat for you guys. I highly suggest you do it. And it's going to make you guys just way more survivable. Another little quick tip for you Prot Wars. If you're running with a Holy Paladin, which with their current popularity, there's a good chance you are, save your challenging shout. Work with your Holy Paladin to tell you when he's going to bop you. Blessing of Protection. Because when he does bop you, it negates the stacks of Necrotic for a while, but you lose all threat. If you immediately challenging shout after he bops you, you get to keep the bop, and you don't lose any threat. It works really, really nice in tandem, but it has to be quickly done, because especially in higher keys, the moment you lose that threat is literally the moment that they can one-shot your healer, a DPS player, anything like that. So this needs to be done quickly. I have tested this. I've done this. It works really, really well. But it has to be like snap. Like, it's literally bop, and then within 0.2, 0.3 of a second later, you got that challenging shout up. So you're not losing aggro at all throughout the entire thing. You might see the bars go orange, but they'll never go fully red. If you can do this well, it's a very, very good trick. And on top of that, bop and challenging shout are both 4-minute cooldowns. They line up very, very well together. So if you can get practiced at this maneuver, that's another tool. That's another tool in your kit that you can work with. All right, I'm Mazarok. Thank you very much for listening to this video. I hope you guys are enjoying your day. Try and push some keys this week. I know it's going to be tough, but everything you do this week is going to make you that much better of a tank as you go forward. I think next week is Explosive and Bolstering. Very, very fun week to be tanking as well. We'll go from there. If I have any other tips or tricks for helping you guys tank Bolstering and Explosive, I'll upload them, or we'll talk about them in the Discord server. Aside from that, have yourselves a good day.